And welcome back to All Over the Map. Thanks for tuning in. On this episode, we've got news of the day for the 7th of June, 2023. It's been quite some time since we've done this GeoGuessr game about news events from around the world on a GeoGuessr map. So we're going to get right into it. And what we do is we take 5 news events around the world. I select the news events and some fun things, some interesting events, major news topics, and we find on the map where these events are taking place. Primarily because a lot of times I find, especially in the United States, many news organizations and many people don't know where the events actually are happening on a map, and thought this is a good way to combine both and give a little bit of commentary from time to time. And if you feel like you want to comment on any news events or your thoughts on anything in the sports world, news world, entertainment world, comment down below in this game. The way that we play this is we play a round and we go to the news event and then we find where the actual location is. And we do this as a no time limit, moving, panning, zooming allowed challenge. The play along link for news of the day is in the description below. And let's get off to the first location of a news event from around the world. See where this takes us. And it takes us to South Beach, or close to South Beach in Miami, and DRV Pink or DRV PNK Stadium, the likely home in the next month for one Lionel Messi, World Cup champion. Leo Messi is going to be playing at this stadium, kind of in the middle of, I would say middle of nowhere, but it's in Florida, but not near Miami. Inner Miami. Yeah, it should be quite interesting. Looks like that is as the time of which I'm doing this game. This looks like the location that he's going, Barcelona, and doesn't look like Barcelona is going to be involved. It looks like it'll be Inter Miami. And the funny thing about this is Messi will be coming to a current last place team in Major League Soccer in the league. So, interesting. Let's look at the news article. And by the way, the news articles are in the description below. Soccer World waits for Messi's decision. Looks like it's probably Inter Miami. And the reason why it's going to be pretty much Inter Miami is because of some of the contract with Apple. I believe I read stuff with Apple. Ownership stake in the club. This is Beckham, I think David Beckham's club, or team, I should say. So we're waiting for Messi's decision. The possibility of moving to Saudi Arabia, which doesn't look likely, but by this point, looks like he's going to be Inter Miami player, Leo Messi. So let's take a look on the map where this is. By the way, this isn't Miami's. This isn't located in Miami, but this will be. I think they're looking to put this, build a new stadium in Miami. But Miami's to the south. This is North Fort Lauderdale, I believe. Miami. Phil Neville just got fired or was let go as manager of Inter Miami. I also read somewhere where Tata Martino might coach or might become the manager, but who knows what's going on behind the scenes. But as you see here, Miami is down here, and we are up here, I believe, near the airport. Let's see. I think we're fairly close to this. I'm not going to get this one. It's probably too far away. Or maybe it's south of... No, wait. There's the Hard Rock Stadium where the Miami Dolphins play. Fort Lauderdale. Well, for time's sake, let's just click there. We'll find out where the actual location is, because I don't know. And it's further north. I mean, that's well far north from Miami. You see there, it's probably... I didn't realize it was that far north. I thought it was closer to the actual American Football Stadium. It was near an airport. It's the Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport. Yeah, so I know Messi actually owns a home in Miami and he rents it out, but quite a distance. And I think the goal is to get that stadium down in the central Miami location, but I know they've been fighting for years in terms of that. So if anybody knows any more information about that in terms of the location of the stadium, comment down below. Also, give me your thoughts on how Messi will fare in Major League Soccer. Do you think he'll be the leading scorer of the league this year, coming in halfway into the season? Comment down below. The next news event of the day takes us to French areas of the world, and this is going to be Canada here. French Canada, also known as Quebec. At one point, folks may or may not know this, they voted for independence, I believe, in there it is, Hydro-Quebec. Voted for independence back, I believe, in 1995. And I think the folks that wanted to stay with Canada were 51%, and the ones that wanted their own country of Quebec was 49%. So very close referendum there in 95. I don't know if there's been anything else since, but I just know that was the big time it's could have been Quebec could have been its own country. So getting to the news event of the day, of the week, for this matter, the wildfires that are raging in Canada, specifically in Quebec. And why is that a big deal? Well, it's impacting the winds coming from the north or coming down on the east coast of the United States, where I currently am on the east coast, and it is hazy. Orange sun in the morning, orange, pink sun in the evening. Very hazy, very smoggish look through New York, through Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Washington, D.C., all the way down. I saw somebody posting something in Charlotte. And the wildfires are raging up here in Quebec. So the wind's coming from the north. A lot of times the wind comes from the south, but I guess some of these winds coming from the north, it's been fairly cool in this part of the world. So let's take a look. I think we were up here near La Touque. This is where in La Bostonnais, and La Touque, all the wildfires are up here. I think it a lot has to do with the fact that it's been fairly dry, and yeah, just all that smoke having an impact on the United States. Let's go for that. That is Quebec wildfires in La Touque, Quebec. By the way, before I go back there, I should have gone to the news article on that one. And again, the news articles are in the description below. Canadian province of Quebec looks for international support to fight 160 wildfires. I thought I'd just give you the story, but here's the actual story from AP. Quebec is looking internationally to support as it struggles to battle more than 160 forest fires during what federal officials say is shaping up to be Canada's worst fire seasons ever. More than 480 wilderness firefighters on the ground. Yeah, so this is growing. Situation remains serious. I knew there was something else here. There's some towns that they've lost control and let this town burn. 36 residents, but that's nonetheless not good. Hopefully they get this under control in Quebec. So that's the links to the articles are in the description below. Let's go back to the game. Kind of jumped a little ahead, a little too fast, and here we are in Ukraine. There's a Ukrainian flag, there's a Ukrainian soldier. And why is this important? Well, first and foremost, I was at this dam in another GeoGuessr game at some point. Somebody probably could figure out what that was, but I've been here before on a GeoGuessr game, which is really strange, weird, but I guess when you play a lot of GeoGuessr, you're going to pop up in areas and locations on news events. And why is this dam important? Was the dam was either in Kakova, collapsed. And Russia is blaming Ukraine, and Ukraine is blaming Russia for the dam collapse that's threatening drinking water supplies, endangering crops, and flooding villages. So, yeah, this is pretty interesting in terms of the war there in Ukraine. It looks like it could be a very, I know it's impacting a lot of villages, a lot of towns, a lot of drinking water. It always impacts people. Not a good thing at all. Very important for the hydroelectric power. And we're going to take a look on the map where this is in Ukraine. And it's basically important point for numerous different reasons, one of which it's providing a lot of power and water supply. But also, I think this is Crimea down here. So it's a flooding out villages and stuff down here. It's interesting. I guess I always like to ask the question, who stands to benefit from something like this and who did this? I guess both sides could benefit from doing something stupid like this, but who loses out as a people, which is always the sad thing in any of this sort of stuff, especially, and the ecological disaster with animals and things like that. So there we are, Nova Kakova. There's a dam. I know there's another dam further up this river, but yeah, not a good situation there on the news event from Ukraine. All right, so we get off to the fourth news event of the day, and let's see where this takes us. It's taken us to the PGA Tour. The LIV Tour, the PGA Tour, the LIV whatever, finally merged, coming together after what seems to be a beef of golfers. I'm not a big-time golfer. I golf, not much. Maybe you golf. I would love to know folks' take on this, because this is crazy on the golf thing with the PGA Tour. They announced a shock reconciliation with Saudi-backed Breakaway Live Golf. That's Phil Mickelson's, I think, thing, and Greg Norma. But anyway, the U.S.-based PGA Tour is set to partner with the Saudi-backed Breakaway Live Golf, ending a feud that has dogged the men's professional game for the past year. This is going to unify the game of golf. And what's interesting here is it says PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan, speaking after what he described as a heated meeting with golfers, told reporters at the Canadian Open in Toronto that the Tour and Live Golf were better off together than we were fighting or apart. And I recognize people are going to call him a hypocrite, or anytime I say anything, it's said with information I had at the moment. And I said it based on someone that's trying to compete for the PGA Tour and our players. Well, anyway, just interesting. I really don't understand this well, other than the fact that there's just a giant beef between golfers and wanting more and more. At the end of the day, just settle your grievances from the get-go. Make sure you got your relationships intact, and oftentimes money and different things and control and power kind of mess things up, and this seems to be the case there, and finally come agreement together on this. It'll be interesting to see how things go on. But anyway, let's take a look at where this is. This is the PGA Tour. And I put in the PGA Tour headquarters, and I came to this place in Florida, which is Ponte Vedra Beach, which just says it's the PGA Tour headquarters. I'm not sure about that. But a nice golf course nonetheless, PGA Tour. What side are you on this one? Are you on the PGA Tour side, or are you on the Live Golf side? What do you think? So this is the second round. We're back to Florida for a different reason, both sports-related events or things or news events. And we're going to come to Ponte Vedra Beach, the Players' Championship at TPC Sawgrass. So those of you that are golfers not sure where this is where it is. The deck by Michelob Ultra. Interesting. So I think we're right here at the Players' Championship. And I know that I think the headquarters is here somewhere. I just wasn't sure where it is. But anyway, we are there near Jacksonville, Florida. The PGA Tour, the Live Golf Tour, coming together. Didn't think that would be possible 6 months ago. We get off to the final news event of the day, and it's an interesting one. It's one that's pretty fascinating, one I didn't know. Maybe Finnish viewers will understand this and know about this. Maybe that's even happened to them. But we are here on the red clay or red asphalt or whatever this is here of Åland Islands, Hammarland, Flygplats, Eckerö, Mariehamn. And why are we here? What news event of the day would take us to Åland? Well, quite frankly, driving too fast. I didn't realize you can get a large fine based upon your income. So wealthy drivers been fined 121,000 euros for speeding in Finland, where penalties are calculated on the basis of an offender's income. I really regret the matter, quoted Anders Wickloff. He was driving 51 miles per hour, or 82 kilometers per hour, in a 50 kilometer per hour zone, 31 miles per hour, when the police stopped and ticketed him Saturday. Along with getting a fine, he had his driver's license suspended for 10 days. It's not the first time he's done this. He has been fined nearly 150,000 euros, or $170,000 for speeding. He's a chairman of a holding company, includes business in logistics, helicopter services, real estate, trade, and tourism sectors. Thought we'd throw Islands up here on something very unique, something that, quite frankly, I saw this when you go to Google. It popped up on my Google thing on my phone, and one of the first things was Finland Åland, so I had to include this on News of the Day, right? Especially for the Finnish viewers out there. I did not know that speeding tickets are based upon your income. How would the police know your income, which is my thing? I guess it wouldn't be the police, I guess it would be after, but just interesting. I don't know if I'd want people knowing my income in that regard, but that's just me. Maybe this guy Anders needs to go off to Germany, then he wouldn't run into this issue. Oh, I don't know about that one. I'm not too keen on, I know speeding's not a good thing, but to pay money for that. No, he probably makes a lot of money and all that stuff, and it's probably not much money to him, but nonetheless, I don't know. It's interesting to say the least. I'll leave it at that. That's a lot of money. That's $200,000. Hopefully that wonder where that would go to. Would that go to the folks that need the money in Åland? Is that where it goes, or does it go back into the government? I'm not really sure on that one. Somebody from Finland needs to let me know on that. And then the other question I'll leave with this: if you're from Finland, if you're from around the world for that matter, have you gotten a speeding ticket? What type of speeding ticket have you received? Has it been anything crazy like this? I would say it's not crazy. It's just crazy, the figure for me. It's a lot of money for going only 20 miles per hour over the speed limit. I guess these are narrow roads. But in any case, news of the day, it's back on all over the map. Let's give this one a guess. Again, Åland, we'll zoom out for those that are watching this and not really sure where Åland is, because it's part of what I need to be doing here on News of the Day is showing the actual location. Here it is between Finland and Sweden, the Gulf. I was about to say Gothnia, Bothnia, in the Baltic Sea nearby. So just go south, my man. Just go south. Go to the Autobahn. You need to do your speeding, go there. Have fun. It won't cost you a dime. So the score, hopefully you got a perfect score on this one. Hopefully you found the locations. We went from Quebec, the wildfires, to the state of Florida for the sporting events or sporting news items of the day, to Finland and Ukraine, which has been, of course, dominating the news for the past several months and year. With that said, thanks for tuning in. If you've got any requests of games you want me to play, any news events that you want me to include, always feel free to send me an email at alloverthemap23@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, cheers.